Imagine this, a fine Sunday morning. You're having your holiday, sleeping like a pig in your bed. Suddenly, your child bursts into the room, holding his piggy bank, running to you and asks, "Mom, Dad, can you teach me how to make my money grow?" At that time, you become fully awake, but you freeze. Because even you know everything about those. However, explaining saving, budgeting, and investing feels like trying to teach your kids rocket science. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's video is part of our series on teaching kids about finance. If you missed the first one, we talked about 3 key lessons every parent should know in order to build a strong foundation in financial literacy for the kids. In today's video, I'll show you how to simplify saving, budgeting, and investing for your kids in ways that are fun and easy to understand. Also, we'll explore creative ways to explain big concepts like why money was created, how demand and supply work, and even what inflation means. These lessons are not only practical but also essential for helping kids develop lifelong financial skills. And you don't need to be an expert to teach them. Alright, let's dive in. So at first, we can start by talking about why money was created. Let's start with a simple but thought-provoking questions with your kids. Why do we need money? A long time ago, people didn't use money at all. They bartered. Bartering meant trading one thing for another. For example, someone might trade apples for bread, yeah? But what if the baker didn't eat apples at all? That's where it got complicated, right? To make trading fair and easy, so people created money. Now, we as parents can make this idea relatable to our kids well by comparing this concept to our kids' real-life experiences. Now think about when your kids trade toys or snacks at school. If our kids don't have anything that their friends want, it becomes very tricky and to make a trade very difficult. So money solves that problem by acting as something everyone wants and can use. Now what we can do is we can put it in a game. You can make a mini bartering game at home first, then have your kids trade toys with snacks, and to let them experience how hard it can be without money. Then you can introduce money into the game and watch how it changes the way they trade. So this way is very practical and the kid will definitely understand money is very useful when it comes to like trading things between each other. Next, we can talk about demand and supply. I understand that this concept might sound complicated, but actually is very simple when you use everyday examples with your kids. Let's say your kids really want the newest video game, but there are only a few left in stock. Because everyone wants it, the price goes up. That's demand. On the other hand, if there's too much of something, let's say the leftover Halloween candy, the price often goes down, and that's supply. You can also point out examples they're already familiar with, like the limited edition Pokemon cards or exclusive toys. This way, your kid will quickly understand why these items cost so much more. Encouraging your kids to observe prices in real life. Take them to supermarket and then to record of the price tags or the snacks they like and look at the price tags, or during the seasonal sales or like when new products hit the shelves. Now these practical skills will help your kids connect the dots between demand, supply, and pricing. Next, we can talk about inflation and deflation. Now, here's a fun way to introduce the concept of inflation. You can ask your kids if they have noticed how things like snacks and toys cost more now than they did a few years ago. This is inflation. When prices go up over time, meaning the same amount of money buys less than it used to. My son and daughter always point out how the prices on restaurant menus keep rising, or how their favorite snacks at the supermarkets seems to cost more from time to time. It is something that they become very aware of, and it sparks interesting conversations all the time. They even joke about how rich they would be if they had £1,000 to spend 20 years ago. It's a very relatable way to show kids how inflation affects our daily lives. To balance the discussion, you can also talk about deflation, when prices go down over time. This often happens when there's too much of something and not enough people buying it. For example, after the holiday season, let's say the Christmas, the stores might lower the prices of wrapping papers, leftover decorations, or even toys to clear out the inventory. You can point out these examples during sales or end-of-season discounts at the supermarket to make it more relatable to your kids. I'm sure your kids will understand a lot better with these real-life examples, because kids learn the best with real-life and practical experiences. Okay, so right now I'm going to cover those 3 key lessons of financial literacy I talked about during last video. The first one is simplifying saving for kids. Saving is all about setting aside money today for something bigger or more meaningful in the future. Now, for younger kids, you can actually make this concept visual and fun. For example, if your kids want a $100 toy, you can show them by saving $20 a week, meaning that they can buy it in 5 weeks. You can use a piggy bank or a clear jar so that your kids can see their savings grow. This is a great way to keep your kids excited and motivated. For older kids, tie saving to bigger goals, like buying an iPhone or going on a trip. Show them how tracking their progress using a saving app like Greenlight or even a simple spreadsheet can make saving feel rewarding. It's important to frame saving as a positive step toward achieving the dreams, not as a sacrifice or restriction. Remember that. To keep things realistic, you can set goals that your kids can achieve within a short time frame. Don't expect them to keep saving, let's say, $10,000 in 2 years. This is too much and too long time, and they will lose their motivation in doing that, so don't do it, okay? Okay, you can also encourage your kids to save for experiences or meaningful goals, let's say a family vacation, an outing, alongside material rewards like toys or gadgets. Next, we're going to talk about budgeting. Budgeting is simply a plan for how to spend and save money wisely. For younger kids, you can turn it into a game, a played pretend grocery store game at home, by giving your kids an amount of toy notes and a shopping list with prices on. Let your kids shop while staying within the budget. Now, this is a very fun way to introduce the budgeting basics to younger kids. So for older kids, you can make budgeting even more practical. Let's say your older kids can earn money in certain ways, maybe through part-time jobs or entrepreneurship activities like reselling books, used things, or even washing cars for their neighbors. You can guide them on how to allocate their money. Help them decide how much to save for a later, bigger goal. how much to spend on personal items and how much to set aside for emergencies. Now, there's one thing I would like to point out is that I'm strongly against giving money to your kids after they do chores. There are reasons why this approach can negatively impact your household, which I'm going to cover in my next video. Now, remember, when you are guiding your older kids in budgeting, they definitely will make mistakes, and that's okay. Because if your kids overspend or miss a saving target, it's absolutely normal, right? You can use it as a learning opportunity instead of focusing on their mistakes. Don't do that, all right? You can also share your own budgeting experiences to show them how the way you do it, to help them understand better that balancing money is a skill that actually everybody needs. Like myself, I do Excel spreadsheets every month to record all of the expenses, the budgeting, the income, money in, money out, that sort of things. And my two kids will have a chance to look at my spreadsheet and we can discuss how much we spend on rent, on food, electricity bill, a lot of things. And like Christmas, we spend so much on presents and food, and my daughter suggests that next month we need to cut down some expenses in order to balance. This is very practical and also life relatable, which the kids will understand and get involved in the household since they are young. So here comes the last part, which is simplifying investing for kids. Investing might sound advanced, but actually it's simply about making money grow over time, right? For younger kids, you can turn it into a game. Let's say your younger kid invests $5 with you, and you can promise them that you're going to give them back $6 next week, and explain that the extra dollar is their reward, is their interest for letting the money grow. Okay? So for older kids, you can even show them how investing works in real life. Let's say if they save $100 a month, you can explain them by showing some user-friendly, beginner-friendly investment apps. You can just simply search them online. So these apps can help your older kids grow the money. These apps are a great starting point because they can also be monitored by parents to ensure that kids are learning responsibly and making informed decisions. Well, like for me as an example, my daughter and son are currently learning basic stock investment, and I have opened a paper trading account for them to experience what investment is like. Of course, they're not using real money, but understanding through practical experience is crucial. They're also learning how to read demand and supply charts, on TradingView, which isn't easy at all, but it's teaching them valuable skills that will have a lasting impact on the future. So you can also explain the difference between simple and compound interest. Simple interest means they earn a fixed amount over time. For example, $5 per year on $100 investment. Compound interest is even better because it earns money on both the original amount and the interest already earned. Over time, compound interest adds up much faster, which is why it's so powerful. Now, remember, parents, it's important to remind your kids that investing takes time and isn't a get-rich-quick strategy. It's not like that. Teach your kids the value of patience, learning the knowledge, and the importance of research before investing in anything. So teaching financial concepts to your kids doesn't have to be intimidating like teaching rocket science, yeah? By using today's simple examples, fun activities, and relatable scenarios, you can actually help your kids build skills that will benefit them for life. In the next video, I'll cover 5 financial skills your kids can start using right away. Also 3 mistakes that parents must avoid when teaching the kids about finance. Let's start small today. Pick one of these lessons to try. Whether it's playing a pottery game, teaching about saving, or practicing budgeting, these steps can make a huge difference for your kids. Let me know in the comment section below how it goes, what worked, what surprised you, what your kids enjoyed the most. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.